Fluffypony, otherwise known as Riccardo Spagni, is a former maintainer of the privacy coin Monero, and he was arrested yesterday. Apparently, he is being extradited to South Africa. He's going to be facing fraud charges for crimes that are unrelated to crypto. The accusation is that he stole $100,000 from his former employer, Kate Cookies, by creating false invoices, routing payments to his personal account. I have a lot of thoughts on this whole thing. But the first thing I will say is that we don't know what the facts are in this case. I have seen lots of indictments in the past against people that have actually been completely incorrect and used to smear people. So I'm not going to cast any judgment about that side of things. But I will say that the fact that Riccardo, and he's this figurehead in Monero, and people would potentially see him as this target for regulators. I'm not sure whether that's the case here, but maybe it is. And if it is, I think that if regulators start going after figureheads in the crypto world, they're going to very fast realize that cryptocurrencies are decentralized and don't really need these figureheads, and will continue with or without them. So if this is a means of controlling the narrative or controlling the currency, I think that it's going to fail. But that was just like a first thought I wanted to mention just right off the back here. George, I'll throw to you. What are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, right? My favorite cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. And if you're angry at Bitcoin as a regulator, who are you going to go after, right? There's maybe 4 or 5 people that might be Satoshi, but even if you found out who Satoshi was, there are so many nodes out there that are maintaining the network. Like, who really even knows who you could possibly go after? My biggest concern, I think, with the chatter I was seeing on social media and really out of media outlets is the conflation of the fact that, Fluffypony was doing something illegal that was totally, or potentially doing something illegal that was totally separate from the cryptocurrency world, but because he might have a checkered past, that automatically makes all of cryptocurrency shady and dirty, right? It's kind of interesting where we're talking about it's rules without rulers, but all of a sudden you can attach someone to maybe the Monero ecosystem, like, oh, all of Monero is dirty, or say someone like an Adam Back went to prison for something, you say, oh, all of Bitcoin is bad because, he's Blockstream and he loves Bitcoin. So it's a little frustrating seeing the conflation of past actions unrelated to cryptocurrency, seeping into the world of cryptocurrency.
Nate, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I was curious to know, actually, I wanted to ask you, Naomi, if having something like with Fluffypony, like be a case like this, is this does this do anything to Monero? He was a former maintainer. Was he fairly involved? Now, like, what is the status of that?
So it doesn't affect Monero at all. And the kind of details of how this laid out, it kind of raises some red flags for me. Again, I'm not casting judgment on the facts of the case. Obviously, we don't have any. But I will say that in his response letter that he put out, he said, listen, we're not quite sure why I'm being arrested. I was meant to appear in court, and it was a court date about appearing, setting like a future court date, and I had a representative there, and now you're telling me that I fled the country. Like, he's actually on the way to a conference, and it was kind of a big surprise, that he was kind of bombarded and while the plane was refueling. And so it's kind of interesting that they kind of this very heavy-handed and very public way got him for something that happened 10 years ago, and when he had a representative apparently at the court proceedings that they're now saying he didn't appear for. So a lot of strange things going on, but again, we have limited information about this. But Jen, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to echo what everyone has said on the panel, really. It's just that if regulators start going after these figureheads, it just confirms that they don't really understand how the ecosystem works. And it's unfortunate because the mainstream audience, the people who we want to get involved in crypto, are going to read stories like this, connect figures like Fluffypony back to Monero, even though the story has absolutely nothing to do with Monero or how it's run, and think that it's bad or shady or dodgy. And crypto will continue to live in the shadows when it has so much good to offer for people. So it's unfortunate. I hope that this isn't a trend that we start to see in the industry. And I am very curious as to what's going to happen next. Like you said, Naomi, this case is from over 10 years ago. So it's just all very strange.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. And, you know, if he did do something wrong, I hope that, you know, he makes amends and continues to be a positive contributor in the ecosystem. If he didn't, I hope that he's able to fight back. I'm personally sad because I was meant to actually meet him just before he was arrested. He was on the way to hang out with a bunch of people. So I was sad that didn't happen. And I wish his, you know, case the best of luck here. The regulators can't bring down crypto. That's the kind of big takeaway here.